DJ Autism.
Just nice, white noise. Just nice, white noise. I'm here excited, you like it automatic. Just wanna keep me on repeat and hear me crying.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some Forza Motorsport. Now, there's a very specific reason why I'm making this video, and if you've been online at all over the past few days, you guys know exactly why I'm making this video. It's a little bit of a video that I want to talk about something that's been going on. I am going to go actually back on for Jimmy Kaido. It's the only track that I really want to play on, honestly. It's just way too much fun. Actually, I should be going online, right? Online is probably quite a lot better over time. So let's try to see if I can find an online sesh, little meetup stuff. On for Jimmy Kaido. I don't really care about drifting on it. I will be sliding around on it, but I've decided to go with a very random car. It's not random, but it's something that I always loved driving in games, and I never really I don't know. I just never really stopped loving this car. I feel like it's just way too much fun. It doesn't matter what game I'm in. I always make sure to have one of these and to drive it on any of the tracks in the game because it's just way too much fun. It's a 458 Speciale. I feel like it's so much cooler, so much better than a Pista. It's the naturally aspirated old V8, you know, no turbos, no hybrids, no nothing. It sounds amazing. It drives great. It's lightweight. It's nimble. It's sharp around corners and stuff. It's just a nice car to use. So I decided to buy myself one of these and use it. It's completely stock as well. So I didn't want to do anything to this thing. That's why I picked this thing. Anyway, let's talk about it. So, if you've been online, like I said, over the past few days, you guys know that the Xbox studios have shut down a bunch of divisions and has laid off a lot of people from, you know, from their I guess teams, you know, the teams that are making, you know, games for Xbox studios. That includes the team behind this game, the team behind Forza Motorsport. So Turn 10 has had absolutely massive layoffs. We don't know exactly how or when they're going to be back with a new Forza Motorsport game. I'm pretty sure I've seen somewhere that I think the team that's left with Turn 10 may be, I guess, collaborating now fully with the team from Playground Games, and they're going to focus solely on the Forza Horizon series, which means that we will probably be getting a larger team for Forza Horizon, but that also means that we will not be getting any more Forza Motorsports for the foreseeable future. We have no idea how or when this is ever going to change. Are we ever going to come back to Forza Motorsport in the future? Are we going to get a new one at some point? I'm pretty sure everything that they've created so far with this title, they're probably going to continue to release everything that's here, and that's pretty much it. There's not going to be anything new being released in terms of this game or any upcoming Forza Motorsport titles, like I said, for the foreseeable future. So we don't really know 100% if that's ever going to change. Are we going to actually get back Forza Motorsport at some point in the future or not? We don't know. We don't know. At this point, it's a no. It looks like it's going to be a no, because the team just doesn't really exist anymore. So I don't really know exactly how to do that. So I mean, it is kind of sucky that, you know, a lot of people, you know, lost their jobs and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, nobody ever wants that. But I've seen someone else have another take. I can't remember who it was, but I've seen it online. I feel like someone has had a different take to this entire thing, and saying that it's a lot of mid-management positions that have been, you know, removed. So the manager of managers and supervisors of managers and stuff like that. Apparently, it was mostly just to cut down on costs on those type of positions. So I don't know if that's actually true or not. I don't know if that's the case and what happened here at Turn 10 or just Xbox games in general. Are we going to get, you know, teams that are more focused on games now instead of focused on just the money making aspect of these games? Or are we just going to you know, shut down studios at this point because, you know, obviously they just won't have staff? So I'm not 100% sure exactly, but we do know that there have been massive layoffs, and, you know, a bunch of teams obviously have gone and either joined other groups or other teams, or they've just fully been, you know, without a job now. So again, it always sucks when someone loses their job. Always. It's always, you know, a bad thing. The thing is, though, I feel like, again, if it's like unnecessary positions that have been gotten rid of, that does kind of make a little bit of sense, you know, de-bloating the team, making it so it's more about, you know, it makes it more cost effective, but at the same time, like, it just makes the team more of just the devs and some management, and that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? So, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't own my own company at the moment. Maybe in the future I can, but I don't actually own a company, so I don't know all the ins and outs. I know vaguely on how it should operate and how it should work, but it's not like, you know, I don't have the experience of owning a company and knowing how you know, the whole money thing happens, you know, with the company, how it's being shared between employees and all that sort of stuff. So the thing is, we all want, you know, teams, especially for the games that we love to play, the games that we enjoy playing all the time. We always want the teams to, you know, to do well, because if they do well, they can hopefully put out a quality product. To be honest, this Forza Motorsport hasn't really been a big hit. I mean, we've seen a lot of people not really enjoy or like this game, myself included, especially at the very beginning with the massive controversy with the way you were able to like earn your points to get cars and stuff like that. You know, they kind of got rid of the whole money aspect of it, and then they fully backtracked on what they were trying to do with this game because of the amount of backlash that they got with the way that the game worked. And basically they just went back to the old school way. You just use your money to buy car parts and stuff like that. You know, you don't have to spend hours and hours and hours grinding just to be able to unlock the car parts that you want to unlock and actually use them on the car that you want to use them on. You know, people, like, I made a video on this at the very beginning, and I didn't enjoy it. Like, I said it was kind of different, and it was interesting, you know, with it being slightly different to the previous Forza Motorsport titles. And it was nice for me to give it a shot, but I obviously thought about it as like a content creator point of view, and not like a, you know, everyday player point of view, which is something that the everyday player is never going to be able to do because it just takes way too long. Like, people have work, they have lives to lead outside of just playing video games. Like myself, for example, my job is to play video games, right? It's to level up in games, it's to try and progress through games as quick as I possibly can, to be able to provide the newest and show the best possible content I can with the time I have, right? Which a lot of the time is a lot of time that I have, because again, this is my job, this is kind of like my livelihood. So other people that would have played the game normally, you know, they just come on and play like an hour or two a day, you know, after work or after school or whatever it is. They don't have the time to grind out for stuff, you know, so they kind of backtracked on their entire plan on making this game basically like that, and they made it so now you can just buy parts again. So I think that was a massive flop with this game. I feel like it was a huge letdown when it first came out, and again, like I said, it was so bad that they literally backtracked their entire like plan on making this game the way that they wanted it to be made. So it does put into perspective on how bad of a job that they ended up doing with the release of this game. You know, it's just, they've released stuff that people just didn't want to see in the game, you know. But yeah, the team being let go, or a lot of the team being let go, I feel like I said, I think a lot of the rest of the team, or the rest of the squad that was still left over at Turn 10, I'm pretty sure, from what I've read or what I've seen, apparently they have joined Playground Games to work on the Forza Horizon series. So hopefully, even if it's not just the next Forza Horizon game, even if it's not just Forza Horizon 6, if Forza Horizon 7 becomes something like an open world game, but you could still have, you know, like, this is something that we wanted, by the way, for a long time, and I've asked for this as well, way back in the day, and we talked about this in previous videos. What if we have an open world map? Okay, we can't do it here because I'm in multiplayer, but imagine you have the open world map of the Fujimi Kaido track, right? But this is somewhere in like an open world area of Japan, you know? Imagine you release... Where's my car on the wall? Imagine you release the Forza Horizon 5 Japan map, let's just say it's in Japan, and then somewhere on the map, you just have Fujimi Kaido. You have the team from Turn 10 basically recreate the track that they've had in previous games, and that is now in an open world racing game. So not only do you have, you know, the open world aspect of the game, but you also have tracks in the game. You know what I mean? Like, how sick is that? You have, let's say, like Event Lab Island or whatever it is. But Event Lab Island, you can have like Racing Track Island or whatever. You know, like it's just something like that. Something where you can incorporate real life cars into the game. This also means that the whole like super arcadey aspect of Forza Horizon can kind of go away now. If they decide to do stuff like this, they can kind of keep it still arcadey. I mean, right now in Forza Motorsport, this is still arcade driving. Like, I'd be fine with having an open world game with these sort of driving physics. I honestly wouldn't mind. They're just a little bit more, how do I put it, a little bit more stiff and a little bit less lenient than the Forza Horizon games. Like, this is pretty much how Forza Motorsport was always. And same with the wheel, I feel like it was always just a little bit better on a wheel than in the Horizon games. It feels like the Horizon games maybe a little bit, like I said, more laid back and a little bit less aggressive with the way the cars drove in those games. Like, I feel like it's so easy to just throw cars, you know, in the air, off-road and stuff like that. And like I said, I feel like there's such a good mix that they could do here where, like I said, they can make it slightly more realistic. And then, not only that, but you can also have some racing tracks in together with the open world game. That would be an amazing addition, you know? So if I somehow end up being correct with this, if somehow in Forza Motorsport or Forza Horizon 7, let's say, they decide to go with this idea, I don't want credit for it, but I just want to say that I feel like I'm part of the community that basically is saying or is up for doing this, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want them to do this. Join forces, join teams, make an absolutely amazing open world game where no other franchise or no other game can really compete. Do that, and I honestly think you can create something amazing for the community, and people will like it, especially since now you'll have a bigger team working on a open world racing game with lots of different things being added into it. I feel like this team is going to, or it can do, I don't know if they will or not, but can do some seriously impressive stuff in the racing game genre. I mean, the Forza series, or the Forza, just the whole franchise, is enormous. It is Xbox's like baby. They can't just shut down Forza completely. I feel like they, like, even now, especially since they've released the newest Forza Horizon, which is Forza Horizon 5, they released it on the PS5. Right, this is just a whole new market that they've opened. I'm pretty sure when they released Forza Horizon 5 on PS5, it was one of the most played games on the PlayStation 5 since the PlayStation 5 released. Like, it was an immense success for them to release it on the PS5. And now, of course, with Forza Horizon 6 that's coming out, probably next year, hopefully, we could have a whole world of opportunity here. There'd be the player base is going to be absolutely insane. Everybody loves the series. Everybody loves the newest Forza Horizon to a certain extent. I know a lot of people prefer, some people prefer the older game or whatever, but you can't, you know, be like, oh, I hate the new Forza Horizon 5, because you can't really hate it. It's pretty much, you can hate aspects of the game, but the game itself is actually very good. There's so much stuff to do in the game compared to the previous games. I feel like Forza Horizon 4 is the only one that you can really compare it to, but Forza Horizon 4 had a smaller map. The only thing is, that's the map that people really enjoyed the most, in my opinion, because it wasn't as open as the newest one, right? It had more cities, it had more towns, it was more compact. Yes, the map wasn't as big in terms of scale, but it felt like it was more alive than the Forza Horizon 5 map. It feels like the Forza Horizon 5 map is more like just full of farmlands, pretty much, which is kind of the thing that people hate the most. But I'm not going to go into that because I've already done videos on this in the past, so I don't really want to talk about that too much. Again, like I said, they have the opportunity here to do something absolutely amazing. It really does suck to see studios basically being thrown into the bin, so I don't really want, if it isn't the case that the rest of the Turn 10 team is teaming up with the Playground Games team, if that isn't the case, and I'm wrong about it, from what I've read or what I've seen, it does suck to see a whole studio being just completely shut down like that. You know what I mean? But again, it sucks losing your job. I do sympathize with the people that have lost their jobs, and it sucks to see. But again, like I said, if there are still people at Turn 10. If the Turn 10 team is still about and you join forces with the Playground Games team, you guys could create something absolutely amazing for the fans and for the community. Listen to the fans, listen to what they want, listen to the cars that they want to have in the game, listen to the tracks that they want to have in the game. Having an open world game with tracks in it, as like in real life tracks, it is just something that's just waiting to happen. I mean, the crew did it before, where they had random racetracks from real life in the actual crew map. You just have to drive to the track and you can get on it. You can get on it. I feel like that's just such a easy way to do it. Even though there's only like a couple of tracks in that game, it is like the best of both worlds. It is just the best idea to have like racing tracks just around the map like that. Again, you don't really have that in the Forza Horizon series. I feel like a lot of people really enjoy the open world aspect of the game, and myself included. I definitely prefer the Forza Horizon series to the Forza Motorsport series because of the open world aspect of the game. But again, it is, like I said, something like an opportunity here that could be absolutely amazing if they decide to actually go through with it. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. But that's it. I guess I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.